A lot of builders, when they build a guitar, they make this section flat at the heel and at the tail. The reason for that is that it's easier to assemble the guitar, to put that neck joint to the, it's just easier to make it fit and close up really good on the seams of the neck, where the heel joins the body, stuff like that. There's a subtle curve here and a subtle curve on the other end, on the tail end of the guitar, that I like the look of. I can see it when I look at the guitar. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with building it the other way. I'm just saying that I prefer this way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the center of this so that I know. So I got 3 1/8, or 3 2/16. 1 1/2, 1 1/16 would be center of this. So I want to mark that as a guide. So this is center of that block. And what I'm going to do, this goes up against the back of the guitar. I'm going to line that center up with the center seam of my mold. And I'm just going to draw that curve, and if you look, it's really, really slight, but to me it makes all the difference in the world. And once again, that's a personal opinion. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip this mold around. And I need to mark the center on this. So stand by. And that's 3 inches wide. So 1 1/2. Do that. And I'm going to mark that. Alright, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to look at this. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to look here. So that I know what the mark is, and actually that's straight a bit, so I want to do one of those numbers. I want to find that mark and do that. And I'm just gonna take my hand plane try to put a curve in this that's close to what that curve is, just so I don't have to do a bunch of work with the sand, and I can instead, you probably can't even see it, but instead I can get most of it off. And sand the rest. I'll sit that there, and I'm going to do the same. If I can find it. I know I marked it. Where'd it go? I'm going to do the same with this. This has got very little, so I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to hit this lightly because it's not. And I'm going to follow that outline best I know how. This doesn't have to be perfect. This is just preliminary so that I can sand that in and don't have to spend 25 minutes a piece doing it. But you see, there's a radius now on both of these pieces. So this is not a scientific approach or any such thing. I build as best as I can, but I do my best. I build by the seat of my pants, pretty much. Yes, I have a plan, absolutely. You'd be a fool not to. Yes, you want to adhere to it as well as you can, but in the end, I don't want just the curve here, but I want this straight. I don't want a hump in the middle or anything like that, so I'm going to put this down on here. And sand until the marks go away. Let me see. What I'm going to do is present this to it and look. And I'll just keep doing this till I don't see any light. And I know that that will fit, which is right about now. That's lovely. Where's that center line? All right. That one's finished. I'll do the same to the heel block and everything will be good. All right, they've been sanded and uh, I've got the radiuses in them. The gentleman that gave me the wood to build this guitar was kind enough to email me and say, hey, you know, I can send you another set of sides if you would like. I'll pre-bend them and send them to you. And I took him up on his offer. I just was not confident in building with that other set of sides that I had busted up. I thank him for it. I consider him a mentor. I know that I don't know if he will like to hear that or not. You know, he gave me this wood for this guitar, all the wood for this guitar, right down to the bracing and the lining and everything else. And I will not ever be able to build with this quality of wood probably ever again. And so he gave me an opportunity that I probably would not have gotten, or if I had gotten it, it would have been a long time from now. And he has been there for me for any kind of questions or advice that I would need. Like I said, he's enabled me to build this instrument. And when I look at his work, it's something that I would like to shoot for. I'm not young. I'm not old. I'm 60, but I'm not young. And I don't have any clue if I will ever sell guitars for a living or even just sell them for a hobby or what. My quality has to get better, all of that. But the quality of his workmanship is something to shoot for. And for all of those reasons, I do consider him a mentor because, I mean, you know, not only has he helped me to do this, but there's examples of his work that will serve as a guidepost. I might not ever reach that quality, but it's something to strive for in my own way, of course. And so now these don't fit this mold completely, and he told me they wouldn't, and that makes sense because they're different molds. This is a handmade mold that I made, and there's going to be imperfections between his handmade mold and mine, but also he is probably more than likely building from a different plan than I am. So yeah, but all in all, I'm thankful. I will just build on this. I'm not going to try to reshape it or anything like that to better fit this mold. I'm just going to take the shape he gave me and build. But they're not glued in. I need to cut this so that they meet properly in the center of the mold. I need to cut the sides down to 4 13/16 tall to match the tail block. And then once I do that, then we'll move on with the build. But I wanted you to see what it looked like, and I wanted to show you the sides that he sent me, and I am grateful to him for that. We are going to roll on with this build. Bless you, and I'll talk to you later.